Welcome to this Notesmaster Support Network video tutorial on using the new Notesmaster editor. Now this tutorial is going to show you some of the features that will help you, particularly when pasting content from Word, which is very useful considering it's used quite often offline when you're creating material and you suddenly have yourself with an engaging resource in Microsoft Word and you want to copy and paste it into the editor, but you might find it loses format, etc. So this update allows you to do that quite efficiently. So I'm just going to show you a few of the steps to highlight how to do it and to highlight some of the main benefits that you'll experience. So I'm starting in my workspace. I'm on the Zambian platform, but it's the same if you're in Vanuatu or Belize or Jamaica or Namibia. So let me click Add New Content here. I'll click Add New Content and I'll just put in a title, Editor Update, something like that. And if I get it wrong in the spelling, it'll tell me there, right click, and I can update my spelling. Click Create. So the first thing you'll see is probably nothing at all. It looks exactly the same. Spellcheck is a new addition. So you can select Spellcheck to be on. So if I'm typing editor and I make a mistake, you can see it'll highlight it for me there. If I right click, it'll show me the menu for adding a table. Okay. If I, on the other hand, select Spellcheck to be on and I right click, it gives me the option of spellings. So I'll select editor, the correct one. So this is the first modification. You'll be able to check your spellings as you go along. So if you're perhaps dyslexic and you're not sure about the spelling, or you're not quite sure in terms of different languages, because it's supporting a number of different languages there, then you will obviously be able to highlight this. So for programs in Mozambique, you can check your spellings. And of course, if you're creating French resources or Spanish resources, you can also, when typing in Spanish, switch to Spanish and check your spellings there. I'll select UK English. So that's the first update. Secondly, you'll notice that some of you might notice that there's a change in the layout slightly. So the new document button is now down here. If you find yourself typing and you suddenly want to restart, just click New Document and you've got a brand new document. What we have is Paste as Text. This button allows you to do a number of things when taking content from a Word document. So if I open up this little Word document here, it's randomly compiled, so don't worry too much about the specific nature of the content. We'll deal with the first section. This is a note created by a teacher in Namibia, and as you see, it's spaced out, it's using a table, and although the table is invisible, you can see from the structure, and it's got two light bulb images. So previously you'd have to copy the text, and then you'd have to save maybe the image as a picture and import it into your file manager on Notesmaster. What we're able to do now is if we just highlight this body of text, we can right click on our mouse and copy. We can then go back to Notesmaster and we have two options. The first is the default setting. So you can either click paste, but some browsers do not allow that. So if you right click and you don't see the paste function, then what you need to do is press Control V on your keyboard. Control V, and that pastes in your content. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And that's useful not just with Notesmaster, but with copying and pasting across browsers. Firefox may allow it, Chrome may not. So as you see, we've pasted in our content and it retains pretty much the same format as the Word document here. The table outline that I spoke of is quite evident here. I click Save, and all I need to do is close this resource. And you see, it's now in my syllabus. I click on it, and everything is retained. So I haven't had to order it, I haven't had to sort it out. It's exactly as it is in the Word document. So that is extremely useful when copying and pasting your content that you've created in Word offline. So the next thing I'm going to do is click here and I'll show you another little update. Now, generally when you paste from Word, I'll call this editor update 1, you have the choice of pasting to retain the format, or you can paste by clicking the paste button. Paste is now in plain text mode. Contents will be pasted as plain text until you toggle this option off. So if I turn this off, click here, paste. So all of the content that I'd previously imported is now in plain text. If I turn this off and I paste again with my Control V, you see the difference in the two. I can check the preview here, and you'll see here is the non-formatted and here is the formatted. Okay, and of course you'll see that links work and everything functions as the same as our Word document. Okay, so this is quite an easy way of following through. Check that you've got paste as text, or if you want to retain the format. So just toggle between the two. Generally, retaining the format is what most persons would want to do. You are then at liberty here, of course, to format it yourself. So if I go advanced again and clear my document. Next thing to briefly show you is a table. So tables are quite important. They're quite tricky. If you're not sure how to do it, because when you try to set it, you've got to drag it out, etc. If you copy this table, you can just highlight it, Control C or right click to copy, go back to Notesmaster, and then you can just paste it. Now when you paste in the table, it pastes like this, retains the format in terms of the structure, but the color is different. So what we need to do is we click on our table to highlight it. We see all 4 corners there, that shows it's highlighted. We can right click for table properties or anything like that, or we can go up here for table properties. And what I'll do is I'll set the border. So when you create a table, always remember to set a border. It starts with 0 border because, as is the case in this Word document, you see that there isn't a border on the table because the author wanted to retain some form of structure without the compartmentalization that a border presents. But obviously in this table, we would like a border here. So we set a border. 1 the thinnest, the higher the number, the thicker the border. So if I close off here, you see 1, that's our border. If I click on it again, table properties, and let's say I go to 10, okay, that's our border. Okay, so I'll undo and go back to 1, click on table properties, and I can do cell padding as well. Cell padding creates a little space around the corner of the cell so that the content of the cell, the text, is not right up to the edge like you see here with the C and the L. So that can be quite useful. Let's try F5 and see what we see. 5. You see, everything's just moved in a little bit more and not just right up to the edge, which could be useful if you then have text outside of the table starting here. You don't necessarily want the two to be too close together. So I can click back on my table, select it, table properties, and I can align it. If I want to, I can put it in the center, click OK. Okay, and if I want to do anything else, table properties, I can go to advanced, and I could give my border a color if I wanted to. Maybe I wanted a red border, click OK, and I've got a red border for my table. Of course, I can do individual cells if I wanted to update cells, cell rows, paste, so you can explore it a little bit there. And if I wanted to give the whole table a particular color, I could select table properties, advanced, and background color. So maybe I wanted the whole thing to be a softer paley yellow or something like that. Click OK, and that's how my table looks. So again, I would save. I can click preview to see how my content is looking. That's always good to see how my content is looking. And then click close. So in our syllabus, we have our editor update with our content pasted, and we have our little table update here pasted. So these have come from Word. So I'm really just dealing with the stylistic nature of it, not having to then create the columns, etc. with the table. And the last thing to show you is what if I have text and an image? So this is one of the most significant steps forward, in that if I was to click here and scroll down, highlight everything, Control C or right click, whichever you wish to use, I've highlighted the text and the image. So I go back to my Notesmaster page. Let's create a new editor update. Editor update 2, click create. And in creating this, you'll see that what I need to do simply is, as again, paste as plain text is there. I can Control V and everything is pasted in. Consent to my image. I can click save. So I don't have to worry about updating this or updating that. I can see here that it's underlining the spelling. So what's wrong there? It's telling me that maybe I've got it a little bit differently. Am I doing the English? If I switch to the UK, or is it slightly different if I switch different languages? So make sure you've just got your language setting correctly how you want it to be. And I'm away. I can click save. I can once again just give it a quick preview to see I'm happy with it. My text, my image, close. And I should have my third editor update there, which I click on and will open for me here. So the important point to note is I have created my content offline. Okay, so if you find that you have challenges with getting online with the internet, or you have challenges with utilizing the internet at work or at school or at home, use Word. Create your content in Word as you would in Notesmaster, and as soon as you get some time with the internet and you wish to upload it for your students to access or for the program, whether it's a Commonwealth of Learning Ministry of Education program, or whether you're doing it as part of a CXC content initiative, or whether you're doing it as a tutor to serve your learners in class the next day, as soon as you get a bit of time, all you need to do, drag, copy. You can drag and copy everything. Click copy, you come back to your Notesmaster and click edit, and if I wanted to, could very easily scroll down here, clear my document, and I can paste absolutely everything in there. So everything just goes in. If I wanted to, I could click here, table properties, give this a border, maybe of a 1, and you'll see the difference there. Here comes a border. Same with my table. I could give my table a quick border if I wanted to. 1, perhaps maybe I want to center it. Click OK, and my image here, click to center my image, and if I was happy with this, very randomly, check the preview so I can see how it looks. Yes, yes, and yes. Close, save, close, and you'd have your little resource here. So this hopefully will make life a lot easier when creating materials offline and making progress online with Notesmaster, okay? So any questions, feel free to reach out to Notesmaster support via your WhatsApp group, or send us a message via Facebook, online, or Skype. Okay, thanks for watching.